Would you do the roll call, please?
Curtis Snell,
Here.
Chris Supp, Bill England,
Here.
Bill John Baker,
Here.
Jack Baker,
Here.
Harley Buzzer,
Here.
Julia Coates, here, Bradley Cobb, Joe Crittenden,
Here.
Jody Fishinghop, Meredith Fraley, Janelle Fulbright, here, Don Garvin,
Aye.
Chuck Hoskin Jr.,
Here.
Tyler Rory Jordan,
Present.
David Thornton,
Present.
Kara Cowan Watts, Ahani, John Masters.
Oh,
We do have a quorum.
I got a little ahead of myself here. Brother Joe, would you do the invitation, please?
Yes, sir. Stand.
Heavenly Father, again, I want to thank you for this day you've blessed us with, the good rain that you've blessed us with, and all the things that you do for us, Father, from day to day, all the blessings. I pray, Father, for our leaders. I pray for each council person here today, our chair. I pray for those in our audience. I pray, Father, for those that are hurting in our tribe and in our country, for those in Oklahoma City that are dealing with the water situation. Father, and I pray for our troops. I ask that you would bless them with safety and take care of them, Father, and bring them home soon. For all those that need help and blessings as only you can provide, I would pray for them today, Father. Now go with us through this meeting. Help us do good work for our people and forgive us where we fail. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Moving on down, like approval for the May 10th meetings.
I move to be approved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on down to the reports. Management Resources, Angela Cruz.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, committee members. It's good to be here with you today. You have my packet in your report, or I guess you have my report in your packet. But either way, I don't have any new additions to the report, so I'll answer any questions that you might have at this time.
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you kind of update me on where the department is on some land I think that you were looking at in South Coffeyville? I think Pat Glenn was talking to some representatives of the Native American Fellowship who had identified some land in the area. I've lost track of it a little bit, and I just wondered if you...
I believe the latest report on that was that we had an appraisal done on the property, and I do believe the appraisal came back, and I'm going to have to get an update from Pat. I believe they have their land update meeting tomorrow, and I should be getting that report shortly after that meeting. So let me shoot you an email so that I give you the most updated information.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Cobb.
Can you, this may take you a couple of weeks kind of track down. There's been some talk about about 3 sections of land up near Bartlesville.
Okay.
And Pat knows about it, and I think there was going to be he was going to come up and sit down with the family. And they are Cherokee citizens, at least the gal is. And there is a cultural tourism tie to that. I think Molly Jarvis knows kind of what's going on.
Okay.
I don't think Pat's made it up there. And I also know that the Cherokee Nation sent a film crew up there.
Okay.
So if you could just kind of track, without getting too detailed, if you could just kind of track some of that down, let me know if there's any interest in that, because it's about 3 sections very close to Bartlesville city limits, and it's real nice ranch land too. So
Okay.
thank you, appreciate it.
Sure.
Ms. Lady George.
I asked this in another meeting, but could you provide us with a summary of all land that you had bought or was bought before you took your department position with the HOSTA funding, and whether any of that land now is being utilized by an individual for housing?
Okay, I just saw a report that Pat Glenn, when he left the special meeting that you guys just had on the IHP, he just got that information, and so that has already been put into a report, and he sent that out to Marvin, myself, and another individual, but Marvin just asked that we go ahead and share that information at our next opportunity, which I think we're just going to bring to the meeting tomorrow.
Okay, very good.
So we'll bring that with us.
I mean, I just need to know how many acres.
And we have done that report before, but it was simply acres. You didn't want to know how many Indian families were living on it.
Whether we have families living on some of the acres and how many acres that we provided to them.
Okay.
Maybe what type of housing too.
And we had to get that, of course, from Charlie's office because Natural Resources just
I didn't know what department would be able to do that.
big
so I'm just
community
asking.
services, but we'll bring it to the meeting tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Cobb?
I forgot something. Can you just check on the No Water Clinic signage? I think y'all had something to do with that too. So. Yeah.
Seems like that signage maybe's been ordered.
I think it's ordered. I just like to know kind of where we are. I know it's in the process. How's that?
Councilman Buzzer?
Yes, and I see that the contract on the dental clinic at Salon has already been let. Last month I'd asked whoever was reporting as to why we had to rebid that, and I never did get an answer for it. Still like to know why we had to rebid it. I had some people ask me about it, and I said, well, I don't know.
Let me check the file. We've got so many projects going. I think I know why we did on that one, but I don't want to get it confused with another project and give you inaccurate information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Council Lady Fisherman?
Yeah, I'm looking at your report right here under Natural Resources. It says continued council redistricting. I'm wondering what info has been provided and to who?
David Justice is the one that works on that. So I will have to get a report from him. I mean, probably what that means is where he has come to testify, he's just continued to do his due diligence on that. But I can verify and see if there's been anything requested from him and specifically who.
Thank you.
Council Lady Watts?
I was beginning to suspect you weren't going to get to me. So. What about the signage for the Claremore Indian Hospital?
I will tell you guys this. We are using W.W. Hastings as our test model on all signage, and we were trying to get it all, or at least portions of all of it, because there's different size signs and there's different wayfinding on those signs, and so we were using that as a test case to see how the signs were working. But I'll need to get with Dana to see, because on some of them I know we've gone ahead and ordered the larger signs, and I think on yours is specifically signs that indicate that there is a hospital and those types of things, correct?
I think that's part of it. We were asking your group or Michael Lynn's group or whoever to even recommend, even if we could not financially or logistically provide the signs, we needed expertise on which signs needed to go where and what the cost estimates were, even if I had to go to the other tribes to ask for money or to raise it privately.
Now, your signs you're talking about, though, at Claremore are wayfinding off of the highway,
Right, correct.
And I know Dana and Michael are still working on that, so let me find out.
Okay, perfect. I'd appreciate an update.
Sure.
If not before the next meeting, by the next
We'll
meeting.
get it to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Council Lady Lori?
Yes, I noticed on your report, you had continued bird check appraisal work.
Yes.
Could you enlighten us as to what that's about?
The Burchetts have additional property that adjoins the property that we already own next to Hastings, and they are interested in entering into a option agreement with us so that when they are ready to sell it, that we have the first right of refusal. And basically they want a life estate as well, so that when they do go ahead and sell it to us, that they could abide on it until.
Would that include the home place?
Yes.
So it'll go all the way back to the where the businesses start on that side of the road.
Yes, ma'am. And it's, we visited with administration at Hastings, and they were extremely excited about us being able to get that piece of property to add to the land layout there for when we do the master canvassing there.
A lot of sense.
It'll be nice.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Council Lady Fulbright.
Thank you. I think this pertains to your department plus maybe two more.
I'll try and coordinate.
Redbird Smith Health Center was repainted over a year ago, and they removed all the pictures from the walls. And I've been told it was because of the matting didn't match. And then I was told that it was going to be the theme to a certain era, you know, like the Redbird Smith Annex is all a certain era that follows a certain period of time. Anyway, to make a long story short, a year is a long time for all of it to be down, and we'd like for somebody to put the pictures back up. And does that involve you partly? It said that one email I got.
I passed on the word that we needed to get the artwork up. No, I do not control artwork.
Okay. Okay.
But I did ask for the pictures to go back up ASAP, and I need to find out why that hasn't happened, because I was under the assumption it had. I'm not up there all the time, so I will see why that hasn't happened. But I don't control artwork, but we can get your pictures back up.
Thank you.
Councilman Buzzard.
Angie, I was just listening to the signage talk a while ago, and I'd still like to have electronic signs at these clinics and things like that. And I brought this up about 2 years ago. Apparently, administration or somebody don't want these signs up. I just think they would really benefit not only people going to the clinic, but communities and things like that. So, I don't know, think about it and see if you could work something into your budget to do that.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of our budget status for next fiscal year.
Yes.
You know, we're going to be looking at some, what I think are pretty hefty spending cuts. So I will say this, one of the new signs that we are putting on the corner of, I always lose the name of the one, but Downing and the road that you turn on to go up to Hastings, I always lose the name of that road. Is that? That's not Katua. But long story short, the sign that's going there, that will be an electronic sign. So I will say this, electronic signs are obviously much more expensive than just a lighted stationary sign. But of course, we can work with, when we're building new sites and we're able to incorporate new signs into those, we can always work with the budget in the beginning to try and get those types of things incorporated in. And of course, old signs, we can always go back and try, when the budget permits, to work in new technology.
Sure, I understand the budget issues. And the other thing to help that along is if we could sell some of that pine forestation down on the Kenyon Reserve. That needs to be thinned out, and I've harped on it for the last 3 years. And I know Pat Gwynn has made some progress on the thing, because he did say that we could go up to a certain amount of dollars to contract.
Well, the problem is we worked with the Bureau.
Yes, and that's what he explained.
And we have tried to get a forest management plan in place that allows us to do some of the management that we need to be doing, and we used a contractor at their recommendation, and then once we got the plan over there, they're not approving the plan. So we're working with them on what the hang-ups of that are. And then the other thing that is a hurdle that we're trying to maneuver is the fact that there's no place to take the timber right now. It's costing us more for someone to come and thin it. We're not making any money off of it. So besides the market, it's finding someone that will come and do the work without it costing us.
I understand, and of course you're in the position, or your staff in the position to know those things. But, I just wish we could do something with it. It's been there for 20-some years, and we understand them. The other thing is when we burn it off, it hasn't been burnt in a couple of years, and if we ever get a car in there, it'll destroy everything that we've ever done, so.
Well, the last time we had we brought the BIA over to do a controlled burn, and they burned up a good portion of it. So those are the challenges. I would like to say that the staff does do everything within our capabilities that we can do, and we do, as you said, we do a lot of thinning, but there's a lot of acreage there, and without having some additional crews or assistance from the BIA in getting it done, then it's...
And I understand the predicament that you have.
So, but we're trying. We're continually trying to make forward progress on it.
I just want to keep it on the ground.
We will. Thank you,
Thank
Hartley.
you. Thank you.
Yes, Joe?
You haven't heard about the court and the council, planning underway for court and council, ready to meet, review feasibility study. Can you update us on that?
As you guys will recall, you had planning dollars to plan for your new building, and I'm pretty sure you guys have 100% docs for your new building. The council also, or excuse me, the courts also had planning dollars to get their building to 100% docs. And then basically the meeting that we wanted to have was just so that the architects, Weir and Childers, could visit with both of you and talk to you about those documents. There is still no money in a budget to build these buildings, but it's just an opportunity to come before you and let you look at the planning for those buildings and give you an idea of what the architects have come up with at this point.
Did they take all of our suggestions under consideration, or is this something you all do?
I believe so. No, it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions, Randall?
I would just, if there are no more questions, I would like to wrap up by saying I wanted to apologize to the council. There's some housekeeping issues that here already. Can you tell that it doesn't sound like a train coming through? They've been up on the roof and just made some repairs to the air conditioner so it's not so loud. And your flower beds out front by the end of business tomorrow will look much better. So sorry for those housekeeping issues. We'll get it addressed.
Any more questions, Randall? Good. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on down to real estate services, Linda Donaldson.
Good afternoon. I believe you have my report in the packet, and I do want to state that the Muskogee Clinic is now in trust. So it's one more down. So do you have any questions?
Yes, Ms. Fulbright.
Yes, has the land behind the Redbird Smith Clinic, the annex, has that been put in trust? Is it complete yet?
Not yet. We were searching earlier to see if the publication had been done because we hadn't found it in the newspaper, but it was supposed to be done. So we're checking to see if they published it in a different paper than the Muskogee. Well, it's supposed to be in the Muskogee County paper.
Well, I never saw it. That's why I'm asking.
So
It's been 2 months since
Right.
I was told it was
And
not
we were checking earlier today to see if it was in trust, and we'll find out. Well, not in trust, but published. Once it's been published, we wait the 30 days, and then we do the next step of documents, and then we should have that trust deed. So that's where we're at right now. So I'll find out now where that is.
Thank you.
Councilman Garvin.
Yes, thank you, sir. Linda, how did we come up on the taxes there over previous years?
It was about $219,000 the first year, and then I believe they raised it to about $230,000.
Did we get it paid?
We paid those.
Okay.
So we're hoping, we're looking at how we're going to pay this year, and county's got a plan for that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Council Lady Glory.
And I just wanted to thank you. I've already heard several comments about the letter and the information you sent out about wills.
Right.
And I think that was well received by the legal community.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions for Linda? Yes.
Thank you, Chairman Snell.
Still working on that, but it's still at the same position. We talked to Bob Empson about it the last time we had a meeting, and it's back on the agenda. We're meeting with him again July 1st, and it's also on the agenda to ask him about it again. And he was supposed to get with the solicitor's office to find out what the holdup is there. But
And you'll
DC is
report on
wanting
it?
to know that. Yeah, so
At next
right,
meeting.
we should have something for that.
What's DC wanting to know?
They want to know as to what status that we could take that property, whether it's in trust or fee. We've told them before, just let us have it. But they're wanting to know from the solicitor an opinion as to how we should take it. So that's what we're waiting on.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
More questions for Linda?
Okay, thank you.
Moving on down to environmental programs, Tom Elkins.
I'll be reporting for Tom today since he's going through some physical therapy issues. Good afternoon. The report is in your packet. The only thing I might add is that we trained an additional 60 tribal members in 40-hour HAZWOPER to go try to get a job in the Gulf. That's the only thing that I have that in addition to the report. So if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
We haven't any questions for Mr. Short? Yes, Ms. Council Lady?
I noticed you did some sampling at Spring Creek and other areas. What were the results of the samples at Spring Creek?
That I don't know yet. I was out last week doing the training, and I wasn't brought up to speed on the sampling.
Email it to me.
Okay,
Fine.
sure will.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Bob? I guess that'll be all, Bob. Thanks, sir. Moving on down to old business. Here County Watch, we have a
Yes, thank you. You'll see a replacement item that's been passed out to you, and our council attorney Hembry is working from California, so I apologize. I didn't realize when I forwarded it didn't have the author and sponsor in, so Todd Hembry would be the author and I would be the sponsor. I know that you just have this out in front of you, so we may want to table it, I guess, but this is one of 3 items I'm going to be bringing forward, and I think the biggest part of it is, and Chief Smith and the administration have not had an opportunity to see this other than the email they got at the same time our staff did an hour ago. But the key to this is that all proposed donations of gifts shall be reported to the Cherokee Nation Tribal Council prior to its acceptance or rejection. Because I think we all get requests for donations of land, and then I always wonder what happens to it. So I think that would be the key, that if there was going to be a donation, it should come in front of all of us. So it doesn't get filtered out or filtered in inappropriately. More than one person making the decision.
okay, you put this up for,
Well, I don't know, I'm not getting any feel from the body about what they want to do, so.
Does the
I'll
body
just
have
make a-
any suggestions here or
Since Chief Smith and
opinion?
them haven't
or-
had time to review it, I'll just make a motion to table until next time.
We got a motion to table, to hear a second?
Second.
A motion is second, anybody got any discussion over this? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carried to be tabled for 1 month. Yes,
Just
Tom.
kind of a point of order. Did we amend the agenda to even include it?
This is in lieu of those legislations, old business item. It was, because last month I reported that it would be, that act would be broke out into 3 separate acts.
This number 1, so it's
Under
going
old
to be, this
business.
is 1/3 of it?
Essentially. And I'll work with Chairman Snell to be more explicit on the agenda so it's clearer to everyone. But I think Mr. Hembry was
Yes,
tied
it
up with
is.
the districting case, so.
Okay. So, did we get anything vote on this?
Call for question at a table?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, she point of information or point of ordered it after that, didn't she? Never mind. Sorry, Mr. Snell, Chairman Snell.
Okay, we'll move on down to new business. Gary, you want to,
Make a motion to amend the agenda to add 3 items. So we have one that's a resolution for donating 3 computers and 2 printers to the Claremore Veterans Center in Claremore. You should have that in front of you. Then there's a second for Sequoia High School individual development account. And then a third for the Brownsfield grant.
you got a motion?
To amend the agenda to add those 3 items.
Add 3 items. We got a second. Bill John Baker. We got a discussion? All in favor? Add 3.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now this will all go to full council tonight.
Mr. Chair, are you ready for the first item?
Yes, we need a motion on each item.
Yep, so I make a motion to approve the resolution for the donation of the 3 computers and 2 printers to the Claremore Veterans.
Yes, any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
We'll go back to the full council or not?
Please, if you don't mind, can we consider it at full council? I know, Madam Speaker, okay, she's shaking yes. Actually, all 3 would be great if we could. Thank you. With the motion to amend at full council, yeah. So the second one is Sequoia High School individual development account, and this requires a $65,000 cash match, and it's IDA program specifically targeted at Sequoia here in Tahlequah for higher ed, and it's the total project cost is $130,000 with no more than $10,000. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second?
Question.
Yes.
Would the cash match come from funds that are already at Sequoia School?
You know, that I don't know. That's a great question too. Mr. Chair, do you mind if we defer to admin for them to answer?
Yes, let's do it.
Everybody's shaking their head, hold on.
I don't know the answer to that. Like we have the answer prior to full council.
If we could just get the answer before tonight.
Before tonight.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. I'm just wondering if they can come up with the cash match there within their department.
I apologize because I think I misunderstood. I thought Anna had it within her budget and it was already identified, but I did not ask specifically which line item it came from. So you'll find
I'll
that out. Okay,
And
perfect.
and then I just have one second question. Would this in any way hinder the child's ability to obtain scholarships at a later time? Would this money be theirs individually that might count towards or affect their ability to receive scholarships?
May I answer that?
Yes, answer.
Thank you. So the way I understand it would be scholarship dependent. Each scholarship has different circumstances, but as far as I know, yes, it would be considered towards some of their assets, and that would have to be an individual decision for each child that they would have to make at the time to see if it fit their circumstances.
Would there be, one other question, I guess, then that begs one other question. Would there be any way we could set it up so it wouldn't impact their ability to get scholarships?
I think that's an IRS question, not necessarily a question for us.
I wonder if we could find that out. I would like to set it up so it doesn't impact their ability to get other scholarships, if we could possibly do that.
Okay.
Because these kids need all they can get to go to school, and I'd hate for this to knock them out of some form of scholarship.
I'll find those two things out prior to council and provide to you all.
That'd be great.
And could I request a copy of those because I don't have those?
I'll give you mine at the end.
Thank you.
Great. Call for question?
Question, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And to clarify, that goes to full council tonight if we can
Full council tonight.
approve to amend the agenda, okay. Are you ready for the third one, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is the Brownsfield grant, and it's for a grant amount request of $190,000 with a 0% match from the Cherokee Nation, and I move to approve.
Second.
Have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries, and that goes to the full council.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the body's patience.
Moving on down to any announcements. Announcements, anybody? Our next meeting will be held July the 12th at 4 p.m. That's Mr. Cobb.
Mr. Chair, I was studying some stuff here, and I might have missed this. What happened to this act that was under old business? Did we table that? Did I miss that?
That was the three sheets,
that-
guys.
Yeah, that's three.
And we're tabled.
That was the table, okay, making sure that was in that whole table, okay. Making sure.
I appreciate any help to keep it straight.
Any more announcements, questions?
EMF passed committee immediately following.
Yes. Our donations.
Move to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.